Grey's Anatomy fans might be sad that Ellen Pompeo is, I think, leaving Grey's Anatomy. It's a bit unclear. We'll get into that in a second. But Ellen told Drew Barrymore today that there's no uncertainty about her vitals.
I feel super happy. Really? Yeah.
Ellen is checking out after the winter premiere in February, and apparently she'll still be back for the season finale in May, but she is appreciative that the show has gotten her to a place that she can now make out calls.
Listen, the show has been incredible to me, and I've loved a lot of the experience.
A lot of the experience. I mean, that's not a surprising asterisk for Ellen to add, because she has spoken about the toxic workplace that was there and how hard she worked to turn that place around. But now she says, after 19 seasons of punching the clock of Meredith Grey, it's become a bit monotonous.
I gotta do something new, or I'm gonna literally turn into, like, you can't do the New York Times crossword puzzle every single day.
That's understandable. The reason I'm confused here is that when it was announced that Ellen was gonna have a reduced role in season 19, there was no indication that these were Ellen's final episodes. Now, I was surprised when the season started that her 8 episodes weren't spread over the entire season to kind of minimize her absence. She's been in all the episodes so far, so yeah, she only has one more episode to go, and then she's piecing out for the last 2/3 of the season. I was surprised by that. Then after the fall finale, Ellen's Instagram post really kind of seemed like a farewell, but she did say, the show must go on, and I'll definitely be back to visit. And then Shonda Rhimes, who's always maintained that when Ellen was done with Grey's was done, she wrote her own Instagram post hours after Ellen's, because I bet a lot of people were coming at her, like I would have, being like, what happened to the mutual pulling of the plug? Shonda wrote, "This isn't a goodbye, it's a see you later. Can't wait to see what's in store for Ellen, Meredith, and Grey Sloan Memorial." So indicating that Ellen isn't gone for good, but there's definitely that perception out in media and like the world that Ellen is leaving Grey's Anatomy, so they're not doing anything to clear that up. Today on the Drew Barrymore show, Ellen didn't make any mention of visits or returns. She talked like she was gone. So it's weird that they're not making it crystal clear what's going on here. Like, I have no problem with Ellen wanting to leave Grey's Anatomy. Absolutely, the show should have ended by now. I think it should have ended in season 17. That beach season, that was your ending. And I realized that season got cut short because of COVID, so that they should have come back for like 8 episodes, wrap that show up, and yeah, done. And I always had faith that Grey's Anatomy was going to end really well because the Private Practice series finale was amazing. Like, that show was hit and miss, but that finale really got back to Addison Montgomery, and it really focused on her journey from Grey's to Private Practice. It was a fantastic finale. It was a love letter to Addison, so I thought, I can't wait to see the finale of Grey's because it'll be a love letter to Meredith. But now we're in this place of, is she leaving? Isn't she leaving? Like, what's happening here? We're in this in-between that I find is a really big insult to fans and to the legacy of this show. Like, I mean, the show is called Grey's Anatomy. It is the story of Meredith Grey. And it's become even more of her story once the other original cast members started leaving. And so I've been invested in watching Meredith Grey's story. I want to see how that story properly ends, and the show should end with her. As I've said before, if you want to keep Grey Sloan Hospital going, that's fine. End Grey's Anatomy, the show, start a spinoff under a new name with some of the cast members from the current cast. Fine, go do that. Grey's Anatomy should end if Meredith Grey is no longer going to be on our screens every week. That's what I think. But yeah, what do you think of this weird, like, is she or isn't she thing going on with Ellen Pompeo?